Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing okay. I'm not going to preamble too much today because I think we might have a lot to get through. I'm really not sure how to tackle filming this, but around a week ago I asked you guys on my community tab if you would be interested in me reviewing some mini photo printers, and it was a resounding yes. It's good to know that everyone else is as overwhelmed as I am with the choices. The reviews are always really mixed. It's like normal printers, they're always just so mixed. I never know what to choose, and I don't know who to trust. I think some of it seems like it's just up to luck. Like some people have a printer that works fine, a mini printer that works fine, and other people just can't seem to get them to work. So interested to see what will happen with this. I had been talking to some friends on Discord. This is how it happened. I was talking to some friends on Discord after one of my most recent videos about the idea of having a mini printer to travel with. I'll be traveling a bit in the next couple of months, not a lot, but just like a little. And normally what I would do is not print anything while I was away. I would take photos and then come home and print them. I make these fake Polaroids for my Filofax using a filter, basically. It's like a frame for your photo from an app called Unfold. I've been using this Polaroid filter for like 5 years. I think it's in the film pack within Unfold, so that's how I do that. And then I just print it on my normal Epson home printer that I've had since 2015. She's barely hanging on, but she is hanging on, and I like printing this way. I feel like I have a good amount of control. I print all my photos like that, they're all the way through, and if you're a regular viewer you are familiar with them, but that's how I make my fake Polaroids. So I thought for this video I could tackle the 4 main types of mini printer. You have the HP Sprocket, which is a zinc printer. From what I understand, I was just having a quick read on Google, let me find it. I googled how do zinc printers work, and Google says the zinc-enabled device uses heat to activate and colorize these crystals. So the zinc paper has embedded dye crystals that are clear, and then it uses heat to activate and colorize the crystals. And then for how long it lasts, it reckons as long as those printed using traditional ink or toner, so long as you're looking after them properly. So the idea is that if you keep them out of direct sunlight and humidity, that kind of thing, then they should last okay. I would love to know if that's true. I am kind of skeptical of all heat-based things. Obviously I used the friction pen for a long time, and we know how temperamental that can be. I also have a lot to say about thermal printers generally. I have one that I can show you my prints. But I'm interested in this because it's not exactly the same as thermal technology, but there is a heat aspect in there somewhere, so I'm not sure. Obviously I will be printing with this for the first time today, so I can't tell you straight up how long the prints will last, but I will feedback. I'll hold on to it, I guess, or I'll hold on to my prints, and I'll let you know how long they last. And then I have a Fujifilm Instax printer. It's on the floor charging right now, so we'll get that later. But I have had a Fujifilm Instax camera, or not a camera, but a printer on and off my whole life, kind of. Not my whole life, but I've had a couple over the years, basically. I had a square one for the longest time, and I did use this to take photos, or to print photos rather, when I went to New York in 2020. These prints are now, what would they be, like 4 years old? And they're still holding up okay. We'll have another look at those in a bit. But I have used Fujifilm before, so I do have enough experience there, I feel, to talk about the longevity and stuff of prints, the pros and cons, that kind of thing. I then got the Kodak Mini 2 retro printer, which is known as like a full pass printer. So this is made with a cartridge that has paper and ink inside it. And what it does is it prints out the layers, so you get like your cyan layer, it goes out and then it sucks it back in, and then it does like your magenta layer, and then it comes out and it sucks it back in, and it layers it up, and I will try and get it on camera so we can see. This is the one I think I'm most interested in. This is the one that I think might have the most potential for me on a personal level. It's picking up a lot of dust, just like from my desk. But this is the one that I find the most interesting. I'm really not sure about this one. I watched some review videos and it seems to have a very green undertone, which kind of worries me. And then the last type of printer is a thermal one. Did I mention that? Like a black and white Fomemo type one. So those are the 4 types I've got today. What I'm going to do is print the same photo. I have 3 photos. I have one inside my room, I have one outside with some greenery, and then I have one black and white. And what I'm going to do, hopefully, is print each photo from each printer. except the thermal one. Let me get it. It's like squeezed in and it's dusty because I don't use it anymore. So I'll print 3 of each and we can have a look at the differences in the quality and stuff, and then I can feedback after some time about how well the prints are lasting. I have a thermal printer. That's the first thing I'll talk about so we can get it done with, but a few people were interested to know what I thought of these. I don't really rate them. I got this 3 or 4 years ago. It was after I had just moved to Reading, and I have some prints from that time to show you how they faded. But this is a thermal printer, so it's a bit like a receipt. It prints in a strip and you tear it off, and it's just in black and white. And it's entirely... oh, it's like sticky. Pretend you didn't see how sticky that was. Ew. I must have spilled some coffee and not realised it went under there. Anyway, it prints using thermal technology completely, and the claim online when I bought this was that the prints would last like 10 years or something. Should have known it was not true because it's a thermal printer. I know better now, but I was kind of hopeful. And I think the idea of having something so small that you could just print a quick thing off with is a really fun idea. And I think if you were printing something that you didn't need to last, like if you were just printing a to-do list or something and then you were going to throw it away, it would be fine. The problem is that these prints will not last for any kind of memory keeping. Not only that, but the quality of the prints themselves is not the best. So this is the poorly printer, and I have some examples of the prints. So I have this book from 2022, and I have, oh, perfect. This is from that printer. So it's holding up okay. The quality is not terrible, but there's a lot of lines. And like for this one, for example, as soon as it starts to get smaller, you're losing a lot of the detail. I don't think that's surprising. I think you have to be realistic and think like, how much quality was I really expecting from a black and white thermal printer? But this book is from 2021, I think. Is it 2021? Oh, I don't know, dudes. What does that say? 21. Okay, September 2021. And these are this is the same printer again. When I printed these out, they were dark like this one is. They were darker than this one. And obviously in 2 years, that's how much it's faded. I definitely had another example where the picture was like almost completely gone and it was printed much more recently, but I can't remember which book it's in. But that's kind of an example of how much they'll fade within only a couple of years. And this is best case scenario. This is one of those situations where they've been out of direct sunlight, they've been in storage boxes, I live in a very dry environment. There's really nothing to jeopardize these prints apart from time. And still, like, they're fading, obviously quite a lot. And if you're fine with that, then you're fine with that, and that's fine. Apart from that, I think the poorly printer itself is fine. I think it works consistently. I've never had a problem getting things to print or anything. The app is alright. The refills are not too expensive. It's, you know, it does what it's meant to, but it definitely is not going to have the lasting power of something archival. It's not going to work as something long-term to keep memories with. But, you know, if this is all you need, then it will do that job for you. But that's thermal printers. I personally wouldn't buy another thermal printer. I wouldn't recommend them to people. Just because I think if you want anything to last at all, then it's just not the right choice. Moving on to the Instax printer, without wanting to show you, but I'll show you later. I have been using Instax printers for a good amount of time, probably 10 years or so, on and off. And it is on and off because the problem with Fujifilm, I have a photo album actually, I have a couple of photo albums. The problem with Fujifilm is that the prints themselves are quite thick, so if you're gluing them into like a Hobonichi, for example, it's going to bulk up your pages too much. It's going to be a little bit annoying depending how much you want to stick in. Print quality wise, I think they're okay. I think you do get more detail than people sometimes give them credit for. Like the colours are good, they transfer well, I guess you would say. And I think the detail is alright. Things are relatively sharp, it's really not too bad. I have these ones from 2020 in New York, as I said, and they still look good. And I printed these just after I came back. These are not recent prints. I think I also printed this one in 2020. I think I put these albums together around a similar time. The only downside, I think, for Fujifilm Instax is that things can print dark. Let me find you an example. I wouldn't necessarily recommend these albums, by the way, because the prints can get stuck and I feel like the plastic is degrading on top of the prints. But this one, for example, is of a cave wall, but from the outside, so it is in natural sunlight. but a lot of the detail down here is lost. I think when I was printing my New York photos, I remember having to go back and lighten them up. I did some test prints and they were printing too dark, so I went back and I rose the exposure quite a lot so they'd print like properly. It does tend to lean quite dark, and the prints are thick. And also, I guess the price can be quite expensive. I think nowadays you can get packs of 20 for £20. So depending how much you want to spend. I actually picked these ones up just now when I was in town, so I could show you the prints. But I think it was 20 quid for 20 sheets. So it's around £1 a sheet, depending, which I guess is not great, to be honest. That's quite expensive. But if you're not making any mistakes, it's not too bad. Maybe £1 a picture. It depends, again, how long you want them to last and what you want to do with them, how valuable they are to you on a personal level. If I was filling a photo album, I maybe wouldn't mind, because like this album and the one that I have for New York as well, they do feel valuable to me. I was looking through them earlier and I was like, it's so nice to have these like physical albums to flip through. It's really cute, to be honest, just to be able to look at them. So do I think it's worth 20 quid? I mean, maybe. You know, I've had it for a long time now and it is nice to be able to flip through it. But now that I'm using my Filofax, I guess ideally I would want to keep them in there instead. And with a Filofax, to be fair, the thickness of the prints doesn't matter too much. So if I don't get on with these two, I might use Fujifilm, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I'd really thought about that until now, but looking at these photos, I'm like, these are better than a lot of people give them credit for. So I do like them a lot. It's just the bulking issue for a lot of people. Obviously, I'm not in a bound book, no longer an issue for me, but if you're in a bound book, it is a big issue to try and get over. And again, these are 3-4 years old, these prints, and they're holding up fine. I think they look exactly the same as when I printed them. Nothing's really happened. They're not really fading. So I would recommend Fujifilm. These are the square photos. I don't know where that printer is. It's definitely in my room somewhere, but I was tidying and decluttering recently and I must have put it somewhere. What I have to show you today is the smaller one. It's one of the more recent printers, so I think it might be more useful. I got it for Christmas a couple of years ago and I actually haven't used it yet, so it'll be exciting to see how it goes. But overall, Fujifilm I think is alright. It's just expensive and they're a bit thick. But apart from that, I don't hate them. I think they're an okay option. So those are the two printers that I already owned, and then for this video I got these two. And I guess maybe I can review them cosmetic wise just quickly. So I think the Sprocket is cute. It's lighter than the Kodak one. This one is definitely heavier. Obviously the Kodak one is slightly bigger as well, but that's because it uses actual cartridges with actual ink. The Sprocket refills are literally just like, it looks like, I don't know, like Pokemon cards. It's a bit weird. I'm very skeptical of her. It would be interesting to see what happens. Price point wise, I picked these up on Amazon because I found it was the only place that I could get them easily. I paid £85 for the Kodak printer and it came with like 2 boxes of prints, which is like a lot. I think it's like 60 prints, which is kind of amazing. The HP Sprocket, I paid £89 and they only give you 10 prints to start with. It's like you get 10 test prints. I was like, okay. And then if I wanted to get the bundle that came with extra sheets, it was like £140. I was like, who do you think you are? Bearing in mind I got this one for 85 with 60 prints and it uses actual ink, so I'm skeptical. But that's kind of the price point I paid for these. I know a lot of people really love the Sprocket. I am very curious. I think the thing that people really love is that the prints are so small, so they're really ideal for Hobonichi especially. They also have the sticky backs on them, which seems to be a massive factor for people, but I'm like, what's wrong with a glue stick? Why not use a glue stick? Straight up, I'm not willing to compromise on the print quality just to have the sticky adhesive back. That's not something I care about. I think it's cool, it's a good bonus. But if the print quality isn't there, that's not what I want. I would rather have to use a glue stick and carry tape or something and have the better print quality and the heavier printer. If the quality is better, the colours are better. Colour accuracy is an important factor for me. And like stickiness, not so much. So we'll see. I guess what I'll do now is maybe stop talking and then I will film myself printing out some photos so you can see, and then I will talk again when they're done and we can have a look. I think that's everything about them answered. They both use the same charging cable. All of them actually, all 3 of them use the little universal, I don't know how you call this. Is it a USB-C? They all use the same cable basically, so you can't really go wrong with that. I can plug them all in together. This one has a little gap and it has the on and off switch. I'm not sure how you open it. I will say I do like that the little tab is fabric. I think that's a really nice touch. Like cosmetics wise and appearance wise, this one is quite nice. It feels good in the hand, and also this is cute. How do you open this? Oh, okay. Authentic noise. It just has a little spring back. Interesting. Okay, I'll load it then and we can have a look. I'm scared if I open it, it'll like expose the film, but it's not film, is it? Interestingly, on the back here it says to be careful about the temperature you expose it to. It looks like 25 degrees C and not below 0, so don't use it in the peak of summer or in winter, I guess. And also no direct sunlight, don't leave it in a hot car, don't get fingerprints on it, and don't bend them. It's quite a lot of criteria. You definitely don't have the same problem with Fujifilm, except maybe the temperature. But otherwise, am I just meant to open this like this? Yeah, because you can't put it in without opening it, can you? And then which way up does it go? Where do I put my instructions? Okay. Oh no, it's here. Okay, hang on. What does it say? Oh, the app will help you load paper. Why is it always an app now? Thankfully I did have the foresight to download the apps onto my old phone. And because I film on my current phone, we can use... Oh, you're joking. I'm not doing it. Okay. Okay. Dude, I don't know. What is she? Oh, Sprocket 200. Okay. Load paper. Lift the lid to remove. Load the blue card barcode down. I hope this is the enthralling content you guys were hoping for. It says barcode down, right? So just like that? Okay. Oh, that went back on really easy. That was kind of nice. Just as a, a little... okay, and then get connected. Oh, it's not turned on. Hang on. There we go. That took a minute. Ooh. She's alive. Oh, it's printing the... Can you guys see that? Sorry. It's printing out the, what do people call this? I think in the reviews people were calling this the calibration paper. Select your status LED color. Is that purple or pink? I'm gonna go purple. I don't know. Okay, let's try purple. Setup is complete. Okie dokie. Firmware update. What do you mean? Firmware update. You're a little printer. Let's do it later. So these are my 3 photos just to show you. These are like screenshots I took by accident while turning my alarm off, so that's fun. But I have this one of my grandparents' farm. Double tap photo to fit or fill canvas. Okay. I think that's fine. I just wanted to print as it is. Come on then, dude. She's really thinking about it, you know? Oh. I was definitely about to hit reprint just for the record. I thought it wasn't gonna do it. Oh, it's happening. Immediately, to be honest, I can see the colours are off between the photo and the print, and also a lot of lines. It's kind of liney. I'll print the other 2 example photos and we can have a look. Maybe I shouldn't have chosen that purple one, but I couldn't tell what colour the LED was because it looked pink and purple and cyan somehow. But obviously this is not ideal. But this was kind of my concern with the Sprocket. I know that a lot of people really like it, but when I was watching reviews for it and seeing how other people were printing stuff, they seem to have similar issues with the colours being off. I mean, even if the colours were fine, the edges are like blue. There's like a border somehow, and the lines across the image are just a bit crap. I don't like that. That reminds me very much of like the Fomemo and stuff, the thermal printers. I do not want my skies and my water to be ruined by like crossing lines. Not even my home printer does that, and she's old as hell and barely works. So immediately I would say that's kind of a letdown. I could try and toggle the colour settings, but then I only have 10 prints to test, so it's a bit nerve-wracking. Would it be app settings or manage? Oh, nope. Manage printers. Sleep timer, 5 minutes. Oh, colour purple. See, what do you mean? Let's try it on default and see if it's better. Let's give it a second chance for that countryside photo. But that's icky. That's all I have to say. That's icky. Let me get my Fujifilm while we're here because it should have enough charge in it. And I guess maybe we can just talk the whole way through. This is the Fujifilm one I have. It's a little lilac thing. It's very cute. It has a textured front, I guess. Button here, charging hole. It's super easy. Film goes in the back as a big cartridge. Oh. Girl, relax. I didn't like that. This is honestly not much of an improvement. Is it just me or do they look almost identical? And one is meant to be purple and one is meant to be default. Let's just check the default setting was correct, that it's saved. Oh no, it is, because you can see it's blue up here. So this is what I mean. This is my problem. This is what I thought might be the problem with the Sprocket, is like these colors are whack. I hate that. Like if I go somewhere as beautiful and as green as this is my grandparents' farm in Wales. It was glowy and damp and like beautiful, like wet. This is my favorite kind of photo. Is like I love that damp earth. To come home or to be traveling and then for it to print like this is like, that is gutting. Like, what do you mean? I guess the difference is that a lot of people, for their planners and stuff, are printing pictures of books and stuff, and it might be fine for that. I'm just gonna... I don't think it's worth trying another colour profile again because I only have 10 photos. I can't afford to keep printing them. What I'll do is print the inside one, like we said, and then I'll print my black and white one. And we can see, and then I'll start with the Fujifilm and the Kodak and see what happens. Okay, that's the black and white one and the one from inside. I don't know if you can see, but the edge of the print is blue, and that's what I was talking about in the other photos. It's like, I guess it's the zinc paper or whatever, but it's blue along the edge, which first of all would piss me off. If you'll excuse my language. Like when you're gluing it in a book, that would bother me. I don't know if maybe that goes if you peel the back off, but I think it's on the print itself, not on like, it's not like hanging off or anything. And I don't know if you can see, but the black and white one is not black and white. It's like blue or purple toned. And then this one, the skin tones are bad, very bad. But also the quality is kind of weird. It's like when you use that like sharpening or drawn effect that you can get on like really cheap photo editing apps. Everything just looks a bit crunchy and weird. I'm not sure. I don't know if I'm... And also these lines down here, can you see that? I'll try and film some close-ups by the window, but there's like print tracks down here as well. Like, you know, like if you were using a normal inkjet printer and you would clean the print heads. But how do you do that on a mini photo printer? I can look in the settings. There's also some sort of light blown over here. There's like a little blue mark thing, like as if the film is damaged. Or the paper, it's not film. But yeah, I mean, my worst fears are kind of confirmed here for the Sprocket. Maybe I'm missing something, maybe there's a trick to using it, but it should be at least intuitive to use out of the box, right? And these prints are a mess. I'm sorry to the Sprocket loyalists. This is disappointing, to be honest. I was hoping it was going to surprise me because people seem to love it so much, but these are wild. Obviously the black and white one looks the best because it doesn't really have any color to mess up. But these two are just like, this is not what life looks like. It's a bit weird. Let me know if I'm missing something. Maybe there's a trick or there's a setting or something to tweak that fixes it, but I didn't come across anything like that online while doing my research. And these kind of suck. What I'll do now maybe is print the... Let me turn this off. It's already running out of battery, by the way. It's orange. I charged it for like an hour and a half while I was out, so I don't know how it's printed 4 photos and is already dying. But that's something to consider as well. I think I saw online someone say that as soon as it goes orange, you can only print like 3 more photos and then it will die. So I think you only get like 10 photos out of it, which I guess tracks given they only give you 10 photos, but god. This didn't come with any film, so I'm guessing it's already inside. Oh no, it did come with film, didn't it? Of course, but there might be film in here and I don't know how to check that without... It's just paper though, right? Oh. Okay, so there's something in there. So what I'll do is turn it on and connect to it, check out the app. Okay. Ooh. Okay. So I will say the Sprocket app though is fine, it seems to work okay. I didn't try sizing the photos, but you can... Oh, you can't. I thought you could, you know, twist them around, but it will always fill the frame. I think I saw someone talking about that online. It will always want to fill the frame properly. But I can't say I'm particularly interested in investigating the features of the app when the photos print that poorly. I guess there's like stickers. Oh, okay, you can buy different size sticker paper for it by the looks of it, and then you can drag and drop them and then print them smaller. I guess that's cool if you don't care about the colors. You can also make a collage, so that's cool. And then you can also upload stuff from Instagram and Facebook if you log in, I think, by the looks of it. So, you know, that's something. You can browse from your favorites and buy paper, app settings, manage printers, print queue, so you can queue stuff. That's cool. Not impressed with the photo quality though, to be honest. I don't think you need to send me notifications. Okay. Oh, let me connect. Okay. Oh, she's working. Oh, 10% battery. I think I did charge that one. I don't think I charged it actually because it was already... I had some charge in it when I was using it. This is cool. It looks kind of like an old film thing. Oh, so you can choose whether to have a border and there's some effects in there, or you can have it as borderless, which I think I will do. So print. I'll bring it over here. And it's thinking. Do not touch the photo paper while printing. Okay, so this is the one that will suck it in and out. I'm actually quite excited for this. Oh, wrong side. Okay. Oh, and it's telling you what colours it's doing. This is the one I'm most hopeful for, which makes me really nervous, because if it looks really bad, I'll be sad. This is very cool. I like this feature of being able to see what it's up to. Laminating, okay. Okay. And this is the photo. Color-wise, obviously a lot better than the Sprocket. I would say it's more true to life. There is a little line at the bottom which is annoying. There's also this bit at the top, but I know that this tears off. Ooh. So if you bend it back, there we go, it will come off. It's so you can choose to write the date or something if you want to, I think. But it does have a serrated edge, I don't know how you call that, perforated edge. So it's really easy to remove, you don't have to like trim it off, which is cool. There is some stuff happening up here. There's like some artifacts. I have a lot of prints for this one. They gave me 60, so I wonder if maybe we'll print it again and just check that it's not because it's brand new. So what I'll do is print a second copy and then I'll print the other 2 pages and then I'll talk to you again. But so far, novelty wise, this one is definitely the coolest. It's really fun to see it going in and out and all the colors and stuff. And the app looks nice too. It looks very like neat. Hopefully we can fix the artifacts. So this is the second print and there are still artifacts up here. There's like lines. I'm thinking again it might be like printing track marks, but it is annoying. I wouldn't want that again in like holiday photos or memory keeping photos. I just find that to be a nuisance. It really depends how much of a perfectionist you are, I guess, but that's annoying for me as a slight perfectionist. What I'll do anyway is print the next photos. And then we can see if it transfers across all of them. Okay, that's annoying. I'm gonna plug this one in and we can just jump into Fujifilm and then I'll come back for these ones. Okay, hoping Fujifilm's not gonna let me down here because I haven't used this printer before. I normally use the square one. But the good news is that I am familiar with her, so it should be okay. I will say that the tactility of the Fujifilm is nice because you have to open this cartridge. It comes in its little foil bag. It's very like film photo-esque. Like that. And then it will print out your blank top card. Okie doke. And then I did have to download a new Fujifilm app, so we're gonna have to do the whole Bluetooth connecty thing again. Oh god. I just don't think all of this is necessary. I don't know. Oh, I must have the mini link because it has a smaller. That's cute with the little rainbow. Next. I will say that when I was using my square version of this, I was having trouble keeping it connected sometimes. And I think I also had that problem with the Poly printer where like if you take a couple of minutes between printing photos, they just disconnect and it can be really fiddly to get them to reconnect again. That's connected fine though this time. The apps mode can be changed by switching the printer's orientation between vertical and horizontal. That is kind of wild. That's bananas. I don't really know what that means. I understood. Simple print, video print, Instax camera, party print, match tech. Take a compatibility test. When will it have aura printing built in? That's my question. Okay. So simple print, recents. Oh. And it's the photo of the farm again. Hoping Instax is not going to let me down because the colours have always been good. Sometimes they just need lightening up. But we'll see how it's looking. Is it upside down? Do I need to turn it over? And then we have to wait a few seconds. Shaking it doesn't actually do anything. Is it gonna? I didn't load the cartridges in upside down, right? Would I have done that? Oh, I can see it's coming up. Okay. For a minute I thought I put the cartridges in upside down and I was like, is that even physically possible? But it is developing, so what I'll do is go ahead and print the next couple as well, and we can see how dark they print and whether they need adjusting or not. But I'll leave this here so you can see it as it develops. It's fun, it's nice, I like it. And I'll put this one, I don't know, here. And then my black and white one. This one also prints the fastest, which is kind of nice. You don't have to wait around for it, like it just gets on with it. It's very quick, and I guess that's the nice thing about using actual film. I guess the payoff is that you're waiting longer for it to develop, so although it prints fast, you have to wait for the development time. It's turned off. That was easy. So we can wait a bit for these. I think, to be honest, in experience, they start to show up quite quickly. I think 5 minutes, you kind of have an idea of how it's going to look. Maybe 10 minutes for the full development, to see like the full colours. Oh, it's fun to see the little skull come up. So we can watch these for a minute while the Kodak is still charging. And to be honest, I've always gotten really good battery out of Fujifilm printers too. I'm not sure how long they've lasted for definites, but you can definitely get through like a cartridge or two if it's on a full battery. So that's 10 or 20 photos, which is pretty good. I would lean more towards the 20. You definitely don't have to charge it every 10 photos, which the Sprocket kind of feels like you might have to. I can't believe that I charged it for an hour and a half while I was out, which should be a full battery, unless it charges incredibly slowly. And then after 4 or 5, what was it, like 4 or 5 photos, it's already running out. That's kind of surprising to me, to already be flashing the low battery. And then again, just the colours are not there. Really not there. They're very pink. One of the reviews I watched, they were coming out really green. So I guess it's to do with the calibration and which colour you pick, but it's a bit weird. I'm not sure. This is like the default one of these. I can't remember, I can't even tell them apart, but one of them is meant to be the default setting, and one of them was like the purple setting. And the fact that I can't even tell them apart maybe is evidence enough that it's not the best. Because I really don't know which one was which, and the setting definitely changed. Like I don't know. That green strip on the side too, it's not just a green line, it's sort of blaring on the edge, this like blue-green colour, and I think that also for me is kind of a deal breaker. Like, why are you marking up my photos? So I'm not sure. It is a shame, because obviously if Fujifilm is the best one, it sucks because the prints are too thick for a lot of people to use. Thankfully in Filofax, that could be my solution, is just to go back to the good old nostalgic tactile Fujifilm Instax. But if you were looking for something thin for your books, it's kind of sad that the pickings are so poor. Obviously I only chose two thinner printers apart from the thermal one, but I didn't want to buy like 4 or 5 obviously. Especially when a lot of them are the same brands. I think the only brand I didn't try is Canon, but the reviews were so mixed and a lot of them were just bad. It kind of put me off. I really thought the Kodak was going to perform better, but we haven't printed the other 2 photos, so I'll print those first and then I'll judge it harshly. But these, I don't know if there's any excuse for them to look this bad, to be honest. Like, even just for this one, like the way it's made things look like weirdly sharp, it's like a sharpness filter. This is not how the photo looks. It's very strange. Like, you can see when this finishes developing, but it's just not, it's not quite right. It's a bit weird looking. Very strange little item, the HP Sprocket. I'm not quite sure what she's got going on. And again, I wonder if the reason it's popular is because people are mostly printing like book covers and stuff for like book trackers, reading trackers. I'm not sure, but like, do your guys' photos look like that? Maybe I've really messed something up somehow, but it's strange. So these are starting to come through. Colour's pretty good. They're not done yet. They won't be done for like 10 more minutes. We're leaning a little green, I would say, but again, they're not finished, so we need to let them cook. Unironically, they need to cook. Obviously these ones are from 2020, as I said, and the colours are fine. We got a good range going on here. They're not super green toned. The yellows are popping fine. The sunlight looks good over here in that warm white colour. We got the red popping for the pizza place and then the green bridge, but all in all the colours look balanced. So I'm hoping when these are done cooking, done processing, the colours are going to level themselves out, but we'll have to see. I'm kind of stuck waiting for the Kodak to charge, so I guess we'll have to take a 5-minute break and come back. If these turn out fine, honestly I might just go with Fujifilm for my own personal use for travelling. The nice thing about using Fujifilm, I think, is that you can get Filofax inserts with like card holders that will hold them. Are they, because they're the size of business cards? Are they? Does anyone know? I normally have one. Yes, no, okay, what I have is a Hobonichi Weeks pocket, which I think is also business card sized. So the nice thing about these Fujifilm photos this size, the long ones, or the portrait ones, the mini ones, is that they will fit in business card holders, so you can layer them up. You get these inserts for Filofax that hold 3, and then you could keep them in your Filofax like a photo album, and that's very compelling. So that's something to consider also. I really didn't think to come through this video thinking that I would be choosing Fujifilm, but I'm kind of let down by both of these options, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like when I was watching reviews, people were getting better results, and I'm not sure how. Again though, obviously we haven't seen the full extent of the Kodak, but the detail is okay. It's definitely better than whatever this one has going on. The colours are also pretty good apart from the artifacts. Like, if not for that, I think I'd be happier with it. Yeah, so yeah, I think I would be. If not for the artifacts at the top and that line at the bottom, I think I would not be mad at this print. But it's not super crisp. I mean, my home printer is also not very crisp. It's kind of soft, but it makes things look kind of soft in a nice way. And again, this is not super crisp, and I think it's okay. It just looks like a little bit low res. But that's kind of to be expected, I think. But it's those artifacts. If I can work out how to troubleshoot those, I'd be happier. I will say though, all in all, the apps have been okay to use. I did see a lot of people in the Amazon reviews for all of the printers complaining about the state of all the apps, but I have found them to work fine. So it's possible that maybe the people in the Amazon reviews are maybe a bit older and just hate apps, which I also hate apps, but I wouldn't say they were difficult to use. I think they all connected fine easily from the get-go. Obviously I didn't set anything up in advance apart from downloading the apps, and then I just connected my printers, but it all worked okay and it was pretty easy to use. I will take a 5-minute break while we wait for the Kodak printer, and we'll come back and look at these again. These are very green, this one. Why are you so green? Okay, so I charged this one for like 10 minutes. Oh, now it's doing a firmware update. Can you get a grip? Oh my god, the firmware updates. I charged it for 10 minutes and it's now saying it's on 40% battery, so that's pretty promising, I think. If it can lose and gain battery in equal speeds, I don't mind too much. That's not super annoying. Let me put these weird ones up here. My Polaroids are still cooking, so we put these ones down here. Okay, let's see. Oh, it's done. Can I print a photo now, please? But you are connected. See, 40%, that's pretty good. Oh, that's looking better. Interesting. Maybe there's hope after all. Ooh. Those colours look pretty good, you know. Are you all done? Good job. Huh. Okay, that's a lot better, you know. That's very interesting. And there's not that white mark at the bottom in the same way. Oh, there is a bit, but nowhere near as bad. Okay, I might print the the countryside one again, just because I have enough prints for it for the Kodak one, unlike the Sprocket, which only gave me 10. I might give it another go. I'll print maybe the black and white one first. Yes, let's just print it big. Low image resolution. Interesting that it tells me that. Like, it's not wrong. I found this photo, by the way, on the New York Public Library Digital Archive. I'll link it in the description. It's a cool photo. That's fine, girlie. Just print it. Okay, it is. Okay. This one looks a lot better. I actually do not hate this. I would consider sticking this in my book. Interestingly, we have already lost 20% of the battery just by printing one photo. So that's something, I guess, to bear in mind. It is using quite a lot of battery. But I did only charge it for like 6 minutes. So I don't know if we can hold it against her. That's looking good, you know, color-wise, like color accuracy-wise. Interesting. Okay, not bad. That is not bad. My pile of very strange photos. Right, quickly print the other one again, just so we can see if it's working. It's on 10% battery, but it has allowed it through. Okay, we're saved. It's doing it again. Do you see the artifact? That's so annoying. Why does it do that? It's so weird. Right. Okay. This is an interesting conundrum now. So, wrapping up. Obviously, color-wise, where is it? Oh god, it's so bad. Color-wise, the Kodak 4-pass printer nailed this one. This is really good. This is not far off from what the photo looks like on my phone. This one is very green. I'm not sure why it stayed so green. Obviously in a photo like this, it's really not as bad, so I'm not sure what's going on there. It possibly is still developing, but then my other ones I think are almost there. Like this one looks good. This one, strange undertone. This one, bananas. Not even sure what to say about this, really. Obviously, it's not a winner. Again, I wonder if there's some kind of settings people tweak, but like that's just kind of, I wouldn't want that if I was traveling with it. That's just kind of annoying. So the Kodak is winning for the skin tone / indoor lighting round, I guess. This is definitely the truest to life and the truest to the photo. And then moving on from those, the black and white one, I guess. Fujifilm not looking too bad. Kodak again winning on color accuracy. And then the Sprocket, again, I'm not sure what's going on with her. So many questions about what the Sprocket's up to, but it's not winning for me. It's not bad because it's black and white, you can kind of get away with it, but again, it's just not, it's not right, is it? And it's that green smear you get on the sides too. I'm just not, let me know if you get that. Maybe it's because it's the test prints that came with it, but like, why are they doing that to your test prints? It's not really convincing me to spend more money to buy more refills, because it just looks, you know, like it does. Kodak again winning, and you can take this bit off obviously, and it's done quite well. There's a bit at the bottom, but it might just be because this is not a 4x3 photo. The one on the sofa was not so bad. There's still a little bit of a line at the bottom, but it's nowhere near as much. So it's not as much of a deal breaker. And then Fujifilm, not terrible. Somewhere in the middle. It is a little blurrier. Which I would expect from Fujifilm. You're losing some of that detail in the teeth, if you can see that. It's not as crisp, but Fujifilm is kind of like that. It's kind of soft and nostalgic looking, and I think you have to consider that a feature of the film rather than like an outright flaw. I don't think I could make any such defenses for the Sprocket. I'm just not sure what's going on there. I increasingly I feel like the only thing you can defend about it is the sticky paper, which, as I said in the beginning, is just not a priority for me. So I don't really know what to say about it. I feel really bad for being so mean about the Sprocket, but like, she's really like, she's on something. These are better. I think this one is nice for like a nostalgic touch, and this one is good for like an accuracy and detail. But then it's that thing, this is where I'm confused now, because I would have said, oh, the Kodak is great, I actually really like it, because I do for these. But then what is going on with my sky? What is that like artifact? Like that didn't print in these photos, at least not in a way that I can see. Is it in there? Like, I can't see it. Like, it's, don't know what's causing that. I wonder if it's something inside the printer. Maybe it's like what it uses to calibrate the paper or something, but that's so frustrating, because if you're traveling somewhere, this is in Wales when I visited family, so if you're traveling and you take a beautiful photo of somewhere sentimental like this, and then you get that glaring artifact in your sky, like, that does feel like a deal breaker. Like, what's the point of having a printer that can print most things but not everything, and not travel stuff, if that makes sense? Like, that's very annoying. That would really bother me. I'm not sure why it's done that, and obviously we have tested it 3 times, so that's really frustrating. It's just, it keeps doing it. I feel like the first print was the worst, and then, but it's still there for the other 2, so it's just kind of, it sucks. And then Fujifilm, not bad, pretty green, but I did lose that orange colouring in the grass, and that's kind of sad. And in the tree back here too, it's a little bit greener, a little bit bluer. Not the end of the world, I still get that nice green feeling. Obviously the Sprocket is not even in the running for this one. Maybe we don't even need to talk about her anymore. At least it kept the orange, but at what cost? So I'm not sure. I really thought I would have a conclusion. I really thought the Kodak was going to be amazing, but this artifact is frustrating for me. What I might do in my own time is print another outside photo and see how it looks. Maybe it's exclusive to this photo for some reason, but again, it's obviously not translated into the other prints for it. We have the print lines on this one really bad, but there's nothing in the Fujifilm, and obviously when I zoom into the photo there's nothing there, so it's not like it's a photo issue. I'm not sure why it's doing that, but it is kind of sad. I thought I would have a cool conclusion, but my conclusion is that printers kind of suck. I wish I could say I'm surprised. I'm just kind of sad, because I wanted to find something cool, but they all seem to have one photo that lets them down, and that's kind of like, damn if that doesn't sum up the printer experience. But disappointed. I wish I could find my square Fujifilm printer to see if this photo prints just as green on the square one. I feel like these prints had better colour accuracy than this does, but again, that might have to be something I try and do in my own time and investigate, and then I could feed back to you. I don't even know how to conclude this. Which one would I recommend? Out of all of them, if you needed something thin, obviously the Kodak is the best print quality and colour accuracy wise. Again, I don't know what's happening with the sky. But the Sprocket is bananas, like... but maybe you like it, and that's okay too. Maybe it doesn't like me. Fujifilm, if bulking isn't an option, I would say that I do love the square Fujifilm prints. I used to only take square photos, if anyone remembers that, so I really liked these. I have a lot of them over the years. I found a stack of them actually in a different box from when I was really young. I have one of my brother from like 2012, and he's really small in it. I think he's drinking like a Pepsi, and it's really cute. So I might try and find my square film and see if this works better, and then if it does, I'll take that to Canada with me, because I'm not really convinced by the Kodak. But again, I'll do another sky test with a different photo and I'll see, but in conclusion, I don't think I have a conclusion. I really was hoping I would, but I don't know, maybe this will have to be a series where I don't know, test different printers, because none of these are really compelling me. And that leaves me in a weird place trying to wrap up the video. What I'll do is put these on my wall anyway and see how long it takes them to start fading, just for curiosity's sake. These ones should last like a normal photo because of the way it prints and the type of ink it uses. It should be okay. But there we go. That was my experiment this week. I wish I had better answers for you. I know a lot of you are hoping to find a good answer about what to buy. I'm really sorry the results were so inconclusive. We really did a science here. I don't know, I think printers are just so difficult to get right, aren't they? And then the apps are a whole thing, and then the consistency seems to be a real problem across the board. Like, a lot of people can get really good results and then a lot of people get really bad results from the exact same product. And I would love to know what makes it so complicated. Hope this was interesting regardless, even if just to prove how weird things are. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if there's a different printer you'd like to see me try. I did cover most of the types, but if there's a specific brand that you think is more promising, let me know. I am open to potentially testing another one. Okay, I hope you enjoyed. Sorry there's no conclusive answer. This was a very strange experiment, but I will see you next week.